What can we bring to the partner that gives them outsized value? To my mind, partnership has to be outsized value. It can't be incremental value. If not, then I don't think that's partnering. I think partner is all about outsized value. So I want to bring to the market with a partner, a tech partner, something that provides outsized value. And then when you arm salespeople with that, they're coming into a customer conversation and saying, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we're not going to incrementally make your business better. We're going to do a step up and make your business that much better. And that to me is the core of co-sell.
Hey everyone, Chip Rodgers with Inside Partnering, and we're here at Okta headquarters in downtown San Francisco.
Lovely downtown San Francisco at Okta headquarters. Here we are.
Yeah, it's fantastic. A nice looking day, although it's not going to rain, but it's not quite bright sunny like it often is here in San Francisco. But
I'm actually a fan of the San Francisco fog. I might be alone in this, but I actually really enjoy the fog. I'm not a sunshine kind of day kind of guy, so I think fog suits me. So I love being up here.
Yeah, terrific. As I said, we're here at Okta headquarters. The floor that we're on is, there's a mini golf over there. It's like a fun sort of area. There's a barista behind us. And
this is our fun floor. Obviously at Okta, we do care about our expenses, so we do a lot of off-site on-sites. So we do our off-sites on-site here at San Francisco. It's convenient for me because I live here. It's sometimes a little bit inconvenient for some of the people that constantly have to travel here. But yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff here. It's a great area for us to meet, collaborate, come up with new ideas. Yeah, we got mini golf, we got baristas, we got ping pong tables, video games. So yeah, we try to keep it fun.
Yeah, it's fun. So I am so excited, first of all, to be joined by Ron Piovesan.
Perfect.
Excellent. And Ron is head of technology partnerships for Okta, and known in the partnership leaders community. You're regularly speaking and sharing content and things like that. Ron, welcome.
Thank you. And yeah, absolutely. You've been a huge supporter for partnership leaders. Really excited about what you're doing with Inside Partnering. And I just love the fact that there's so many people now coming in to wanting to share ideas, to discuss what it means to be a good partnering organization. So yeah, like kudos to you. I love Inside Partnering and all the great interviews and learning so much from all my colleagues through your interviews.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's start, Ron. You have a long history in technology, 10 years now with Okta, which is congratulations.
Very long time.
Yeah, and previously with Cisco and with Mozilla earlier in your career. The other thing that's interesting, I'd love to talk about it a little bit later, is you're doing a lot of teaching as well. So teaching at USC currently, previously at Santa Clara, about go-to-market and how students can really learn from your experience and share that to take it forward. Why don't we start with your role currently at Okta? Tell us a little bit more, Ron, about what you and your team are up to these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. So like you said, I've been at Okta for 10 years. So started in the pre-IPO days, and it's been an amazing ride. It's been fantastic working at Okta over the course of these past 10 years. I've always been on the tech partner team, but honestly, every year it's been a different team. As the company grows, as the market changes, every year is a new adventure. 10 years ago when we started, nobody would call me back. I was calling people up, hey, you want a partner? Hey, you want a partner? Hey, you want a partner? Nobody was calling me back. Now, Okta's been a massively successful company. I'm very pleased to say that partners and partnering has played a role in that success. And it's nice to be on the other side of the table now, where some people are giving me a call. And now I'm calling like even bigger partners and bigger partners. So it's been this really fascinating evolution, not just to see like Okta's role in the market, but how the market has caught up to really view Okta and what we provide, identity security, as a key part of their partnership strategy, and really being open to partnering with us a lot more.
That's amazing, and I think Okta has 7,000 integration partners, if you will. The technology is integrated into Okta. Makes a lot of sense, and I know you have this model of the long tail, really operationalizing it, making it scalable. But tell us a little bit about that and this sort of how you break down the ranges of different kinds of partners that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. So the one great thing about Okta is we have a very broad integration surface space. So there's a lot of really interesting ways to integrate with us, especially if you want to include identity security into your offering. And of course, identity and identity security is the number one attack vector. So you need to have a strong set of identity integrations if you really want to be enterprise grade, because it's the first thing that enterprises look for when they're adopting new software. And then we're catching up with AI. At Octane just a few weeks ago, we announced a new way to integrate with Okta called cross-app access, which is a way to help an AI almost give an identity to an AI agent, non-human identity to an AI agent. So now we're not just giving identity to humans, we're also giving them to agents, right? And so there's a lot of amazing ways to integrate with Okta and embed identity security into your offering. Now, and that's the 7,000 that you referred to. And those are what we call integration partners. And then as you work more with Okta and invest more with Okta, so you do more and more integrations, not just one, but you have several integrations with us. As you begin to integrate us into some of your go-to-market, that's when we begin to say, hey, you know what, there's a story here. You guys need to help us. The ISV sometimes needs to help us articulate that story. But once they do, we're like, hey, there's a story here. And that's when me and my team get more involved, and we start investing more and more in that particular ISV to help further craft out that story.
And what does that mean then? It's so to begin with, as an early partner, you're working on a portal kind of thing, right? And then doing an integration and doing it self-serve. But then as you grow and you get more joint customers and more potential use cases where you're doing other integrations, what's that path look like?
Yeah, honestly, and this is true of Okta, this is true of anyone. Your biggest ally, not just with Okta, I think in any sort of partnering with any sort of company, your biggest ally is always going to be your customers. So I'll take Okta as the example, if we're hearing from our customers, from our field sales, that, hey, Okta plus this ISV has a great story, has a great in-demand story, and customers are asking for it, that's really going to get our attention, and we're going to start investing in that partnership more. But Okta, like any good company, we're customer focused, so we need to hear it from the customers. So they're always your best ally when you're thinking about how to build a partnership. I think honestly, not just with Okta, but with anyone else. When I'm trying to partner with somebody else and I'm reaching out, I always bring customer stories. You got to bring customer stories.
Love that. That's really what it is. And then you got a real story. You got a story to tell.
That's the thing. There are so many stories out there. There's so many ways to integrate. That's been sort of the blessing and curse of our movement from like on-prem to SaaS and now to agent-powered applications. There's going to be so many ways in which applications can work together, share ideas, share data, share use cases. But so to weed through all that, you need the customer. You're a smart guy. I'm a smart guy. The smartest people out there are our customers. If they're actually paying for something and using it, they're the smart people. Those are the people we should be all listening to, because if they're saying this is an integration and a partnership and a use case that really moves my business forward or really secures my business, that's the idea we should all be focusing on.
And then that's also going to get the attention of the field, right? The sales team is going to...
Yeah, 100%. Because, I bring something to the field. The first thing they're going to ask is, okay, can you show me customer references? Can you show me customer demand? Actually, I like it even better when they come to me. I'm going to let you in a little secret. Field salespeople are not shy. If there's an integration or a partnership...
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. You thought they were really like these wallflowers. If there's an integration or a partnership that's out there in the market that's making noise, my phone does not stop ringing. My Slack does not stop blowing up. They're like, what's our story with XYZ partner? How come we don't have a story? What do you guys do at partnerships? Like, how come you're not doing something? And we get that. And as soon as we get that kind of inbound, we get it from the field. We also get it from product people, because product PMs are fantastic because they talk to customers a lot. My favorite people are SEs, solution engineers and sales engineers.
Because they know the deep...
They're at that intersection between sales and technology. And if they see something happening in the market, I listen to them more than anyone else.
Yeah. That's amazing. So true. I think they're really, and they're also connected to the field as well, right?
They're connected to the field, they're connected to the product, they're connected to the sales motion. And honestly, some of our best ideas come from SEs. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So now let's dive a little deeper into one partnership that you're launching actually today.
Yeah.
Just was announced today. Excited. It was really exciting with Google and Omnissa, the newly announced part of VMware, which is, so Okta, Omnissa, Google. Tell us about it.
Yeah, take it away. What we found was really interesting, what like Google, Omnissa, and Okta almost found independently, is when you are migrating from on-prem to the cloud, two things you're really concerned about. One is productivity. Do you have the right productivity apps? And a lot of times you want to be, like some of the incentive to moving into the cloud is you want to take advantage of like great productivity apps like Google Workspace. Yeah. But then when you're doing that, you're like, oh my gosh, is this secure? All my documents are here, my email's here. Like these are like the most important apps, these productivity apps. Are they secure? So that's when you need Okta and Omnissa to come in to secure that application. So you can roll out to the cloud, gain all the benefits of moving to the cloud, and make your workforce super productive. Yeah. So what we heard time and time again is, look, I need workspace, I need identity security, I need device security. How am I going to, and device management. Yeah. But I want best of breed. But the downside of best of breed is that you got to deal with 3 vendors. That's a challenge, right? We think it's worth it because you're getting best of breed, but that can be a challenge. What we're doing today is announcing the work transformation set. We're eliminating that challenge of dealing with 3 vendors. So now what you got to do is, if you want to adopt Google Workspace, you want it secured by Okta and managed by Omnissa, you can get it all through one place, one price, and you go straight to your Google rep and they'll take care of you.
Terrific.
Yeah. So it's almost like the benefit of an enterprise license agreement, like the ease of procurement, a single procurement exercise, one vendor to deal with, the proverbial one throat to choke. But you're getting 3 best of breed products to make your workforce more productive and more secure.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really cool. So that's a great story, right? There you have it. And it's just announced today, fresh, hot off the presses.
Hot off the presses. And I think that what's really the fascinating trend here is, as you mentioned, we're in technology partnerships, right? And our primary goal is to drive technology innovation with our partners. We do a lot of co-innovation. But what we're finding is, so co-innovation is great. We're going to keep doing that. Like, co-innovation is great. Okta is always going to be on the forefront of that. But what we also need to understand is, it's not that it's not like you need co-innovation on the technology side. You need co-innovation on the go-to-market side. The way enterprises, everyone from SMB to enterprises, the way they're purchasing is changing. The days of just dealing with a salesperson or just dealing with a VAR, those days are rapidly receding. People want solutions. They want a full solution to their problem, right? They want ease of procurement. We've all been spoiled.
Marketplace,
absolutely. Marketplace. They want ease of procurement. We've all been spoiled as individuals of going to an app store and getting whatever app we want. Or indeed going to Amazon and just buying whatever good we happen to want, right? Now that demand for ease of procurement is moving from the consumer realm into the enterprise realm. And so I think there's a lot of really fascinating go-to-market innovations that's happening in the market right now. And I think the work transformation set, Google, Omnissa, and Okta, the way we're coming together to provide a single option and a single solution to customers, I think that's part of that trend of just wanting to simplify getting your hands on the best software that's out there.
Yeah, I love that. It's a combination of, you get the best of everything, right? It's the best of breed, but then also it's an easy procurement, and you got it all in one package.
Best of breed software, best of breed procurement motion. I know, who would have thought the younger versions of ourselves that we'd be all excited about like easy procurement? Back in the day, we would say, what do you want to talk about when you grow up? I want to talk about easy procurement. Here we are, but that's what's driving the market now. And it is part of the purchasing decision. It isn't just like how good the products are. How easily can I access them? How easy can I bring them on board? How easy can I implement them and integrate them? And if I do all that, are they still secure? Yeah. And so what we're doing now is coming to the market with a resounding yes. You can buy the best of breed products. They can be secure. Your workforce can be productive. And oh, by the way, we're going to make it super easy for you. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And Marketplace just does that, right? It's something that's with the ease of global transaction, currency convert, all those kinds of things, local laws and all those things just makes it just very smooth and easy. And procurement teams now are getting more and more looking for that.
Yeah. Everybody wants the simplest deal, right? It's complicated. Like enterprise software, getting your hands on the best enterprise software shouldn't be as complicated as it is, right? And I think marketplaces have proven that. I think ELAs have proven that, enterprise license agreements. I think this ingenious notion of having commits and then drawing them down. You look at MSP models, outcome-based pricing, like PLG motions, product-led growth motions. There are so many ideas out there right now about how do we just make it easier for customers to get their hands on what they need to be successful, right? And the market's changing so fast, right? If the market's changing so fast, a customer can't be delayed in achieving their end goals because they're getting caught up in some procurement cycle, or they're getting caught up in some negotiation, or who knows what they're getting caught up on. They're like, I see the value of your software. I see how you can help me as a customer move my business forward. Just make it easy for me to do what we all want to do, and that's for me as a customer to buy your software. Just make it easy for me. Yeah. So we heard Okta, Google, Omnissa, we heard that loud and clear, and we're like, yes, we are going to make it easy for you to access like best of breed productivity, best of breed email, with best of breed identity security and best of breed device management. Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Congrats on that. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's good. And again, that's just the fun of this. That's why I think partnering is so much fun, right? Because now, when we started like years ago, partnering was a press release, a joint happy hour. And don't get me wrong, I like the joint happy hours. If you want to do a joint happy hour, give me a call. But I still like all of that. But now we're really impacting what is the product direction? How do we integrate with other vendors? What is the go-to-market direction? How do we innovate and come up with new go-to-market strategies? So really the role of partnering has moved from this kind of this side project that's fun and yeah, there's some benefit to, geez, we're changing the product. We're changing our go-to-market motion.
This is how we do business.
We do business, and things are changing. And I think it's only going to change more. And we as a discipline are in the middle of it. That's why I love everything that you're doing is like surfacing all these great ideas. So now we can all contribute and be like, yeah, these are all these great ideas about how we can work together to really conquer the market. I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Ron, let's talk. So we talked about co-innovation. Let's talk a little bit about and go-to-market. Talk about co-sell and what does that look like at Okta, working with partners, either with cloud providers or with other ISVs?
Yeah. For us, related to what we were just talking about, the customers, co-sell starts with the use case. What can we bring to the customer that really isn't just, I'm going to use a cliche, isn't the 1 + 1 + 2, but it's the 1 + 1 = 3, right? What can we bring to the partner that gives them outsized value? To my mind, partnership has to be outsized value. It can't be incremental value. If not, then I don't think that's partnering. I think partner is all about outsized value. So I want to bring to the market with a partner, a tech partner, something that provides outsized value. And then when you arm salespeople with that, suddenly they're walking into a partner with a really amazing story. They're coming into a they're coming into a customer conversation and saying, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we're not going to incrementally make your business better. We're going to do a step up and make your business that much better. And that to me is the core of co-sell. We understand that story. The partner understands that story. They understand how we're going to sell together, like what I just said about procurement, like the actual mechanics of selling. And that's where honestly, that's where co-sell becomes effortless. Because as a partner person, what I don't want to do is I don't want to berate salespeople. Have you called your partner? Have you talked to your rep on the other side? Have you co-sold? Nobody wants to do that. Salespeople don't want to hear from me. I don't want to be bugging salespeople about it. Absolutely not.
You want them leaning in.
You want them leaning in. And how do you do that? You provide value. You show, look, this is how you're going to provide outsized value to the customer. And hopefully, ideally, this is how you're going to win the deal that much faster. It should be, like you said, it's not a push. It should be a pull. You're pulling people in to the partnership, not pushing the partnership on top of somebody else. Yeah. That never works. Yeah. And I would even, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I would even hasten to add, you want to do that in co-innovation too. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be berating product people and saying, integrate, feature it. Like, they don't care, right? They got too much to worry about. Whereas you want to do it as a pull. Here's a partnership. We've heard from the market that people want us to work together. They have a great product. We have a great product. We should be working together.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Ron, this has been fantastic. I'd love to talk a little bit about your experience and with teaching.
Sure.
Because I think that's really a unique thing about your background and what you're currently doing. Tell us a little bit about what that is and why you're doing it and what's the benefit to you and to the schools.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been teaching on and off, part-time, evenings, weekends, probably for about 15 years, actually, for a very long time. I think I started at Stanford Continuing Ed and have just moved to other places, Santa Clara University, and now most currently USC, University of Southern California. And yeah, partner teaching is just a massive part of my life. Both my parents are teachers. I come from a long line of teachers. My wife was a teacher for a little while. So I actually view this as kind of part of my DNA. I view this as part of my heritage. It's something I need to execute on. Yeah, I love teaching. I teach mostly master's level and I was teaching in the MBA programs as well as the marketing communications programs. And actually that kind of stems from my earlier past, because I actually started my career as in PR. I was in PR for about 10 years before moving over to partnerships. Yeah. So I think that's where I get my passion for communication. Make sure you're always communicating the value. That's coming of a partnership. That's coming back from my PR days. Yeah. And the one thing that I really love about teaching, and teaching specifically marketing, is, and I'm going to tie it back to partnerships for a moment, is people come to the discipline of marketing and PR and they think, okay, I want to do social media marketing, or I want to do events or something like that. And that's all great. And that's fine, right? We teach all of that. But I actually bring in the notion of partnering as a marketing channel, and partners as part of your marketing plan. Don't do the blogs, do the press release, do the social media marketing, but make sure your partners are talking about you in the same way. And
there's so much value. That's right. It's half the cost and twice you're doubling your reach or whatever. If you got a partner that's really excited about what you do and the Better Together story.
And the thing is, yes, it obviously exists in B2B. A lot of students relate more to B2C, and you just put it in their context. Like, okay, how do you hear about a brand? They're like, okay, I hear an ad. I get something from social media. Oh, I hear something through one of my favorite online retailers. I see a display at my favorite brick and mortar retailer. So another user tells me about it, and they realize that from a B2C perspective, as a consumer, they're surrounded by both the brand as well as the brand's partners, like retailers and co-sponsors and so on, people they do co-sponsorship with, other brands. They realize that they're hearing about certain brands from multiple angles. And when you say, look, we got to take that and bring it into the business realm, the B2B realm, they begin to realize, oh yeah, I can bring these sort of consumer marketing concepts into the B2B realm. And that actually powers a lot of our conversations in the class.
And it all builds trust and interest, right? Oh gosh, why am I hearing about that everywhere?
Yeah, exactly. And ultimately, isn't that our business? We're in the trust business. Trust me, our product can make you successful, whatever your product happens to be. So ultimately, when it boils down, we are in the trust business. And so we need to partner internally, we need to partner with our colleagues in marketing and colleagues in PR to make sure we get that point across. And then that's what I like teaching too. I like saying, look, don't just think about communicating to customers through one narrow lens of TikTok, which is a favorite of TikTok. You don't realize, but yes, you're getting some of your news from TikTok, but you're also getting like brand information constantly, no matter where you go and what you're doing. And you got to think in those much broader terms. That's one of my favorite things to talk about. Yeah.
It's fantastic. I'm just curious, have you had an experience where you're teaching a concept? I'm sure you're interacting with the kids all the time. Are there things that has helped, they've brought to you, or asked a question that you're like, changes your thinking, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great question, actually. We are in a time of such flux. And I know it's kind of cliche to say that, but it's so true. And I think what I hear from students is the media landscape is changing. The trust landscape is changing. There's a lot more cynicism coming in. There's some of it's skeptical, like healthy skepticism, which I think is great. Some of it is starting to border on cynicism. So I do think, like, to the point of trust, like for any brand, regardless B2B, B2C, it doesn't matter. To start building that trust, it's a much harder path than it has been, I think, even 5 years ago, to be honest. I think I've noticed a pretty discernible shift. I think brands think, okay, let's do good and let's support some issues and stuff. And I think that's great. I'm not knocking that. But also be aware that I think even around like issues-based marketing, there's a lot of cynicism around that. And then there's just skepticism about when I, as a student, enter the market, is there going to be a welcome market for me? And I think there's even some stats about while top-line unemployment is relatively low in the United States, unemployment for new graduates and younger people is actually quite high. And that's definitely seeping into the classroom. And that sense of skepticism, like I said, starting to move towards cynicism is really starting to creep in. I wish I had a good news story for you. You do try to talk about, there are cycles, so maybe we're in a down cycle and hopefully we'll come up into an up cycle. So you try to give them some benefit of experience. But I would say, yeah, in the past, I'm going to call it 5 years, you definitely see that shift within students for sure.
Gosh, thanks for sharing that. That's really interesting because you're really tapped into the zeitgeist that way.
I was teaching a class with Southern California. That's another thing. I teach online. So now you don't even go into classrooms now. It's all Zoom teaching, which has its pluses and its minuses. But I showed some what I thought were very powerful issues-based marketing examples. Students just rolled their eyes. They were like, yeah, I get it. It's fine. Why is this brand telling me that? And again, I'm not suggesting that we say this to shy away from that sort of marketing, but I'm just saying that trust, I think
it doesn't always land.
It doesn't always land, and we got to work harder as an industry, regardless of the industry you're in. But whatever your industry is in, you got to work harder now to build that trust with customers, because we are in an era where trust is a super valuable commodity, and it's really hard to earn. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's true for partnering, it's true for marketing, PR, just general, the way a business conducts itself in the market. Trust is hard to gain, super easy to lose.
Yeah, I think of the saying, trust is earned in drops and lost in buckets. Right? It's just,
God. Yeah. And now it's even more, because, I agreed, and now it's even more. But you always look for the hopeful signs, and just how sharp some of these students are, like how aware they are of the world around them, how they're beginning to open up and really welcome things like AI. They're not afraid of it. They're trying to dive into it. Sometimes, honestly, as a teacher, you're like, okay, maybe there's a bit too much AI, but that's a whole different story at the moment.
Did you really write this?
Did you really write this? And the good schools have policies around that, and we do too. But their ability to just soak in information, and their ability to soak in change. I think the coming generations, they're hugely flexible, hugely adaptable. And I mean that in the best positive way, that they're ready to take what life and business and the market throws at them, and they're willing to switch and change and move it up. And again, I'm not saying that we should do that to make their lives more difficult, because it's hard enough as it is being a student and coming into the market. But I think what's going to happen is we're going to find that there's going to be the next generation of leaders is going to be super resilient, super adaptable, pretty tough to deal with, because they're going to have their skepticism, so you got to earn their trust. But I think there's an exciting group of people that are coming into the market, and I hope we can find opportunities for them all, because they're really smart people.
That's fantastic, Ron. Really appreciate that perspective, and a sort of unique perspective in the partnering world, but also tying it back to partnerships and trust and all that. So that's fantastic. So Ron, congrats. Thanks. Again, this is a big day, and with the announcement and everything, and thanks for sharing that, so many other things.
Thanks. And again, I would just say congratulations to you. I think what you're doing with Inside Partnering is fantastic. And to all my colleagues out there in the partnering world, let's keep the discussions going, and let's keep the ideas flowing, because we are becoming just more and more core to a business. So let's make it happen.
Yeah, that's terrific. Chief Partner Officer is the
next one. Yeah. Where's the upstairs? Where's the CEO's office upstairs? Chief Partner Officer.
That's fantastic. Ron, thank you again for taking some time, and thank you all for joining another episode of Inside Partnering, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.